back. I'm Lisa, and I am starting a new journal. I'm really excited about this one because of the digital kit that I found for it. I wasn't going to do an autumn journal, but I got to questioning myself, I guess, and thought, well, if I find a digital that really sends me over the moon, then I'll go ahead and do one. I'm going to be doing a tall autumn themed journal, and these are the digitals that I got from one shop called Vintage by Me. I've never purchased from this shop. I don't think I've ever stumbled across it before, but I think her digitals are fantastic. And for any of you who also make Halloween journals or use digitals for journaling ephemera in your journaling, I encourage you to check out her shop. She had some really adorable Halloween digitals as well. So let me show you what I got. And she's having a sale too. So hopefully by the time I show this video, she'll still be having the sale. She doesn't know at the time I'm filming this, she doesn't even know that I'm doing this video. This is all very spur of the moment project. But I'll show you the pages and how I put the papers together. And then I'll continue on and show you the other supplies that I'll be using as well. So here's one of the kits that first got me going with it. It wasn't blatantly autumn, but it gave the autumn feel and the autumn colors. Isn't that really cool? I just love it. I think it's French in the background. I would venture a strong guess. And then on the back of all of these pages, I just printed some paper from a vintage ledger that I have. Actually, it's a very antique ledger that I have. And isn't that cool? I just love how she put all of her images together. That is really neat too. I also love that where there were marks on the pages that she kept that in there. It just makes it seem that much more interesting. Now this is another set, another kit of hers, and I thought they just went together just amazingly well. So there's that, and again, these are all backed with the ledger paper. Oh, I must have gotten some pages mixed together. No, that one was from that one. Here's more pumpkins. I love the colors of her pumpkins. It isn't so in your face with orange. It's very vintage and subtle and a little bit grungy. I love the drawing on here. And the colors are just right up my alley. Look at this one. I think this one is maybe my favorite. Really cool. And then this was a separate kit. I thought this would be fun to maybe make some ephemera pieces out of. You wouldn't even have to use this just for autumn. I mean, if you were doing a nature journal, you could use these leaf pages. Aren't they gorgeous? And everything printed very crisply. I have an inkjet printer and these images just turned out great. Then this is an ephemera kit that she has. I'm going to try doing a piece of ephemera using these. Bushel basket of pumpkins. Here's a little pocket. I actually, for both of, let me clarify something here. For these pages and for the pocket, I actually decreased the size. So it is larger when in the original kit. And then some tickets and some other things that we can play with, as well as these little bits of ephemera. So along with those, and again, that's from Vintage by Me. And then along with those, let me get that out of the way, we will use some, oh, before I go there, I also, of course, true to Lisa fashion in shopping, I also got this little set of 1-inch squares of little birds. Aren't they adorable? And here's her information if you want to pause the screen. So, all right. Here's some other pages. This is out of a book. It's pretty big. It's Hammond's Nature of America. And I've used a lot of pages out of this. If you're ever able to get something like this, the images are like this, and they, if you insert them into pages, the way it's formatted, it works out really well. So I kept the book out in case I wanted to use the grouse, or there's some owls in here, there's trees in here, so we'll keep that out. And this is a page I know I want to use for sure. I just love that. So there's that. And then I pulled out a couple of Edith Holden pages to get started. There's this double-sided one. And then I wanted this autumn poem by Longfellow in there. And then I pulled out another book called John Kiernan, An Introduction to Nature. I'll show you what the cover looks like. It was published, this version was published in 66, but I want to say the original copyright was from 46. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, 1946. This one's from 66. But if you ever can get your hands on one of these books, again, the images are fantastic. And if you want to use full pages in a journal that work out really well, I pulled this book because I thought maybe we could, I wanted to use this page so well, or so badly, but on the back side we have a hawk killing what looks to be another bird. So maybe I'll still use this and just cover that up. I'm not sure yet. So, but there's some other birds in here that we could use as well. So the book is going to be autumn nature in theme. So first off, we'll get our pages ready. Before I do that, I'll show you the fabrics I'm considering for the cover. Originally, I thought that I would just use this, but for me, it just felt a little too busy, so I might just use like a rectangle of this. Again, this is going to be a tall journal, so if you can envision something like this, and then having just a square of it or rectangle of it in the middle, that kind of breaks it down a little bit. So that might be what I do for that. I haven't entirely decided what I am going to do for the cover altogether. As far as a base, I have an idea, but I'm not completely decided on it. All I have decided is I have this range of ideas for fabrics. And that's kind of how my process goes. I start working on it, and then it just kind of comes together for me. I'll get these out of the way, and I'm going to start prepping my pages. And I will probably ink my pages also, but I'll do that off camera so you don't have to be bored to tears watching me ink 101 pages. I'll show you what I do for one of them, just so you beginners get the idea, but then you can do the rest on your own too. So welcome. I hope you are or had a good day. I'm filming this on a Friday night. I just love this. And I had a great day, I think. I've got the dogs in here with me tonight while I'm filming, so we'll see how that goes. Pearl is already eyeballing me like I had to be paying attention to her instead of whoever I think I'm talking to. She always looks at me like, I don't know who you're talking to, but whatever. Whatever, lady. And the paper that I print on is a brand of paper called Red River paper. And these, I can't remember if I printed these on 32 pound or 26 pound paper. It actually might be a combination of the two. I need to order some more paper, actually, now that I'm talking about it. But I really like the price and the quality of the Red River paper. And you can just find them by Googling Red River paper. They have their own website. They'll come up pretty readily. Being autumn, we actually had a really beautiful day today. It was a little overcast, but the temperature was great. Pearl, please. I got to talk to both my kids today on the phone and my mom. So everybody's doing good. So jealous of my son and daughter-in-law. They are planning a trip, which they've wanted to take, oh my goodness, since before COVID, to Montreal. And I'm so jealous. They found a super cool, it sounds like a super cool Airbnb to stay at. So I get to watch the grand dog. Once you get going doing this, it doesn't take long at all. Oops. I'll probably need to pull out some additional papers, but I just wanted to, I like to first get the main papers together and get a feel for how thick it is before I get too carried away. I learned that lesson a long time ago where I'd have about everything on the planet pulled out and only used about half of it. But that's how we learn, right? I'm already planning, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but I'm already planning my, let's see, this is all the ephemera, yeah. My Christmas journal. I'm super excited about that. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go shopping for some of the items I need for that. And maybe after I'm done with this journal, shortly after anyhow, we can get started on that. Okay, I'm just going to show you how to do a couple of these. And for those of you who are more seasoned journal makers, you can feel free to skip forward if you don't need this. But I just take the dauber, dip it in my Vintage Photo Distress ink. If you want darker edges, you can use a darker color like walnut, especially for an autumn journal. That might actually be really cool. And then I just go around and darken up the edges, make sure none of the white of the edges of the paper is showing. Because I notice, if you can see here, there's some white showing here based on how I ripped the paper. And it just adds to the aged look of it. If you happen to use a digital kit that maybe has more of a white background and this wouldn't quite be fitting for it, you can also use a lighter color, like Vintage Linen is a light color that you could use of distress ink, or just not ink at all. No one says you got to. This is just something I like to do. With most journals, I don't with all. Depends on what the theme of a journal is too. I'm crazy about these pages. Beautiful kit. Oh, so sorry. Both my dogs jumped. It hurt me as much as that sound hurt you. There, coming together nicely. What's up, Pearl? Now she's moved to under the desk, looking at me under there like, do we have to craft right now, Mom? They don't like in the evening when I'm crafting in here. They like snuggling with me in the evening on the sofa. So if I'm not on the sofa, they feel a little put out. But you know what? They'll live. Spoiled little babies. Spoiled babies. I think also in addition to crafting tomorrow, I will I'm gonna rearrange my craft room / office here a little bit. I'm gonna set this aside for now and figure out, let's see if this is like so. Then just trying to figure out how much of this page I should cut off. Okay, I'm going to need my big cutter, I think. I'll be right back. Forgot I had it on the floor right behind me. Went across the room and it wasn't there. first I'll cut off this top part. Let's see where we're at. Missed one, didn't I? Oh, that's almost perfect. Goodness, I couldn't do that again if I tried. Oh, don't even tell me I did that. You know what I'm gonna do though? Because I want to use this page so badly. Oh, look at that. Hold on. I'll show you how we're gonna fix that. That's what I get for being all wild and crazy. We'll get out some of this tape we made. If I can get a hold of it. Oh, it stuck right to me. And this will just add to that vintage look anyway. And I also love, again, it's the colors that are kind of autumnish. It's a new word, autumnish. There, then we can still use this page because look at that. Pretty. We have a ton of these trees right across the road from us. So all day when I'm working, that's my view. There. There. Perfect. And let's see how these fare. These we can just fold. I'm going to clean up that edge though. Good Edith Holden. Just can't go wrong with Edith. She's such a faithful journal making friend. We'll have that, and I think I'll have this one on the outside. That. Look at how these colors just all are scrumptious together. That one the other one I folded the other way. This one I'll fold this way. So everything isn't all matchy-matchy. Okay, I am going to pause the camera and finish inking around the edges of these pages, and I will be back. All right, I got all of the pages inked all of the way around, and I went ahead and pulled some extra papers to put in here to break up some of what I had going on, and I really like the flow of this. So what I need to do now though is, if you can see, some of the added papers that I have are a little big, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to zhuzh it a little bit. I'm just going to zhuzh it. But I don't necessarily want everything all, perfect and matchy-matchy, if you will. It's just not the kind of book I'm looking to create here, as I want a little bit of grunge and distress to it. It's autumn, you know, leaves are falling, crunching on the ground. In Wisconsin anyway. I don't know about where all of you are, but that's the way it all happens here. So true to what I understand autumn to be. I just felt like this is what the journal needed to be. It's what was screaming out at me. And I don't necessarily want them, like I said, all perfect, because that just would be perfect is boring sometimes. Depending on what you're making. For this, it would be boring. Now, this one's pretty tall. I just love how this coffee dyed grid paper got so crunchy. Yummy. I'm just getting all kinds of rowdy. I love the holes in there too. What I'm also going to do for some of these is kind of crunch up the edges of them a little bit. I'm going to ink that too. Yum. Maybe this one needs to be a little grunged. I just squish it up. Okay, and this one. Maybe I'll make this edge really raw. There, I like that. I like it. Okay, now let's start to feel out some of the items that we want to put in here. I like to leave the first page until I get it in the journal oftentimes so I can kind of feel out what I want, but I'm already kind of seeing something here, so we'll just wait on that. Now this blank page would be fun to introduce one of the nature elements I wanted to do. And we can take a look at some of these birds. Here's an owl. Maybe what we can do, I'll pull this page out. Sure I am. The book says, do you think so, huh? Just gonna pull a page out. I'll be right back. I was thinking about these tags that I made last night, wondering if something like this might work well. This one, and maybe the owl can be a pocket. Thinking, not that one though. I don't think I want it as a side load, although I easily could. But, let me think here. That would work. And the colors go well. Let's just go for it. There's no time like the present, right? But these are just book pages that I cut the tops down and then lined it with some coffee dye grid paper, and I have these openable tags and I just sewed around them. Fun, huh? This one would be a fun one too, though, if I wanted to do a top load. Maybe I'll do a top load on that one. Just going to clean up this edge a little bit. And then just going to cut the bottom of this off. We'll use that for something else. And then what I can do is barely make a little pocket here. Okay, so I folded in my edges. Let's make sure this is going to fit. Ooh, it's going to be a little tight. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. If not, I can always make another. But folded in the edges, and I'm just going to do an angle snip next to the fold here and do the opposite here. Do that on each side. And then I'm just going to angle the tip a little bit so you don't see that. I think I want a little divot. Then I'll ink around this. This is pretty thick paper, so I can get away without lining it with cardstock or something. Otherwise, if it were thinner paper, I would do that. Ooh, there we go. So So he'll fit on here like that, and this will hopefully go inside. I think it will work. So let's see, or is another one skinnier? They're all about the same size. Let's just go for it. I feel like I want to embellish this a little bit and that. And I was looking at, I have either this trim or this would be cute too, along with, where did I put? These are what I was looking for. Oh, there we go. Oh, maybe I don't have a rust colored one. No, that will work, but this will work. And this along the edge of it, I think will be cute too. I really like that. Let's do that. I'm gonna finish it off like the top of it and cut it at an angle so it has a point. I'm gonna put this down. Where's my art glitter glue? It's hiding in my bin. There's that. All that is a book page with a label stamp and then a little floral stamp. That's all that is. Did you see I did that left-handed, you guys? You know me. Usually that does not bode well. I did it all by myself. Like a big girl. There, that turned out cute. Okay. If this tag doesn't work, we will just bring in another. There's more than one tag on the planet. Wondering if I want something to the top of this to embellish that. I think I do. Let's get this back out. Let's see what else we can find. I want flowers. It's like I want to say to you guys, if you see something you like, just holler. If only it were that simple. I like this one, but it's too tall. Shagbark hickory. I've never heard of that. That looks too wintry. There's beech tree. That'd be kind of cool, but again, it's too tall. Too tall, too tall. I wonder if this would fit. Sassafras. Let's just try it. Actually, let's eyeball it. It's going to be close. This might be a better, that's a better option. Oops, did you see what I just did? Better put this away. The way I'm winging it around, I'm going to stab myself yet. Okay. Get the cutter back out. See how that works. That's way too big. Imagine that. My family picks on me because anything with like a volume or measurement, I am totally inept. I cannot do that. So I'm banned from picking out Tupperware sizes and putting leftovers in Tupperware. Not the person in the family for the job. That's my husband's job. There we go. I like that. It just gives it a little pizzazz. You know what we could also do? I think I'm going to do it. It's just paper, right? I was on a crafting live the other day, and one of the ladies on there just really is not about, she will not fussy cut. Some people just don't like it. It's just too fussy. I don't blame them. I don't mind doing it. Like if I'm going to do a whole bunch of it, I kind of have to be in the mood to just sit in front of the television and fussy cut. And it also depends on what I'm cutting out too. If it's uber fussy, then I'm not about it. I think this, yes. Perfect. I love that. Now, what I'm also going to do is come in with one of my brushes. Let's just make sure I don't have black on there or something. And just do the edges a little bit so it blends in with the page a little more. Otherwise, this white's gonna look way too stark. Yep. That is what the doctor ordered. Sometimes it's just the little things that just make all the difference in the world. And it's these little embellishments and doodads that you put into a journal that just bring it to life and make it interesting as the user turns the page. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, now it's the moment of truth. I let the glue dry. Hold your breath. It works. Okay. Page 1 down. I think we've spent enough time for the first video so you get the feel of where we're going with this. It's Nature Autumn. Feel free to check out Vintage by Me. That's where I got the digitals that I'm using for this kit. If you wanted to play along and make something similar. Otherwise, just grab a couple of digitals or some scrapbook paper, whatever appeals to you, and please feel free to craft along with me, and we can continue making this really fun journal. Thanks so much for joining me. Click the thumbs up. It really helps my channel out, and hit subscribe so that you're notified of future videos with Junk Journal Gems. Have a great day.